Have you ever wondered what it would be like to hear the sentence San Marino have won the World Cup or Kazakhstan have won the European Championships? Could you imagine the ecstasy that would be going around? The reactions of some of the bigger countries like Germany, Brazil, France, Italy, Argentina failing to win a World Cup. Or Brazil, Argentina, those sort of countries failing to win the Copa America. Could you imagine the ecstasy that would be going around? It would be phenomenal. Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, Andy Day FM, and today's experiment is a very, very special one, where we will be taking a small European country and trying to make them into the world's #1 national team in the world. It may take a while. It will probably take a very, very long while. A very, very long time, in fact. But we're not going to have a look at the San Marinos or the Luxembourgs or the Liechtensteins or anybody like that. We are going to look at a European country. It is very, very small, and it is a gorgeous place to go away on holiday. I've been there already. It's really, really nice. We are going to be looking at Malta. Oh yes, the very, very famous Malta. Well, soon to be famous Malta. Who are currently sitting in 4th in the European International League Division D, Group 3, and currently sitting in a very, very low 183rd in the world. Yes, there are smaller teams in the world rankings at the minute. I was very, very tempted to take on San Marino or Gibraltar, but something jumped at me with Malta. There's a few recognisable teams in the leagues, especially in the top division. We will have a quick look at them, but I will explain the experiment first as to what I have, as to what I will be doing. So there's a few key factors that I'll be changing, adapting to make Malta into an absolute world-beating nation, and hopefully, my aim is to make them into the best national football team in the world. We may get them to #1, we may get them into the top 10, we may even get them into the top 20. We'll have a look. Now, very, very quickly, I will explain what I have done already. I have had a look at every single football team in the league, and I have gone through Balzen, maybe, all the way down to Valletta. And what I have done, I have changed a few of their settings. Every team is the same. So what I have done, I've kept the reputation as it is. I've kept the club attendance as it is, the minimum and the max. The finances, I have not touched one bit. The facilities are what I have changed. I have given every single team in the league a maximum of 20 on the training facilities, the youth facilities, the junior coaching, youth recruitment, and corporate facilities. Now, the way how this is going to work, I'm not expecting anything to happen in the first 4 years. Maybe, we don't know. But what it's going to be, we are going to be basing this hopeful success on the regions that will be coming through through Malta, through the football teams in the local league. So each team has also got a tactical attribute of 20, from all the way from attacking at the top all the way down through to width at the bottom. That is the exact same for every single team in the top division. Now, if this tactic doesn't work, there are a few other things that I can change as well. So what I also can do, and I mean this is purely for the local teams in the top division, I can increase their bank balance. Oh, as well, sorry. Each team has also now got a professional status of professional, so which will give the football teams more opportunities to train throughout the course of the week, the month, throughout the course of the season. Excuse me. Now, what this is going to intake as well, if this tactic doesn't work, I can increase the reputation of each of the clubs, but that's only only if this experiment isn't quite working to plan. But we will have to wait and see. Now, on to the national team. When I can find them. There they are. On to the national team. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go into the national details. The reputation, at the minute, I'm going to just leave alone. The maximum youth age, I will change. I can go down as low as 15. I can also go up as high as 25. I'm going to change this to 17. The state of development. It's at present it is a developing state. I'm going to change that to a fully developed state. The economical factor, I can change it to 20, which is what I'm going to do. And also the FA financial power, I will change that as well. The years to gain nationality, I'm going to leave that at 5. It's fairly low, so, Malta's a quite recognisable country in and around Europe. On a local league stage as well as a national stage. I mean, like I said, there are no world beaters yet. But they will be, hopefully. Gain nationality type. I'll leave that as it is. I'll change it to continuous, actually. Now, the foreign manager likelihood. If I change this to 20, then there's more likelihood of a foreign manager coming into the club, which is why it says their foreign manager likelihood. Now, with that, if I were to take it down to, say, 1, for example, then the national side, or the Malta FA, the Maltese FA, I believe that's what they're called, will only hire local managers, managers of the same nationality from Malta. So if I change the foreign manager likelihood up to 20, then we may get a better opportunity to get a more well-known manager. Somebody who's been in the job or the business for some years, who has a good record, should we say. And the FA patience as well. I'll change that to 20, just for the sake of, if certain things don't go to plan, then they're not very likely to sack the manager. The facilities. So they do play in the national stadium of Takali, which is only 17,797. A majority of the teams in the league do play there as well, which is what I found out. So we'll leave that as it is. This is the important one. This page right here, the generated players. Now, if I change this up to a maximum of 200, the next generation of players, the regens, will be coming out thick and fast, and their player ratings, will be phenomenally good. From the ages of 16 up to, say, 17, 18, 19. They will be ridiculously good. So I'll keep it at 20 because my goal is to get Malta to number 1 in the rankings. So I'm gonna go health forever. So I've changed the rating. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it at 200. That is going to be the best opportunity to get some exceptionally good regen players. The tactical attributes as well. As we said, we want to try and beat the any sort of opposition. So we will be adapting the settings, or the numbers up to 20. So again, like we did with the local league teams in the top Maltese division, we will be changing attacking all the way through to width play up to 20. The rival nations, they have no rival nations, so I'm gonna leave that as it is. I'm not gonna make it any enemies as of yet. So I will leave that as it is. The languages as well, you can see Maltese, English, and 50% Italian. So I'm not gonna change that. I don't really want any Colombian Maltese mixed individuals, should we say, for example. So that is what I've done. I'm going to leave it as it is. At the minute, we and that's, well, the only competition that we're in at the minute is, as I mentioned, the European League competition, Division D, Group 3. What's my expectations with that? With against opposition against Kosovo, Azerbaijan, and Faroe Islands. Currently, well, we'll come back to it. Now, because we are in this competition, there's no other fixtures, so this is it. I will come back in 12 months' time just to have a look to see how we have got on. It'll be very, very, very quick. Just to have a quick look, and then we will look to progress further into this save file. What I'm looking to do, I can I see us getting into the next World Cup, because we have just come out of a World Cup within July 2018. The next World Cup is in 2022, so I'll come back and have a look. I'll jump ahead 12 months just to see how we've got on against our opposition here, Kosovo, Azerbaijan, and the Faroe Islands. I will come back just to have a look to see how we got on. Can we get promoted to the next division? So we have gone 12 months ahead to 2019, where we did say that we was going to look just very, very briefly at the European League Division D, Group 3, I believe it was. And actually, straight from the off, sort of jumping out a bit, Malta have actually moved up 4 places, so they are now by no means world beaters yet, but they are making slow progress. So they've gone up 4 places in the world rankings. Just very, very briefly, as I said, I'm only going to have a quick pit stop at this. So they lost that to Kosovo first game at home. They beat Azerbaijan and the Faroe Islands respectively 2-0 both games. Again, they drew to Kosovo and Azerbaijan respectively 1-1 both games, and then they beat the Faroe Islands 3-0. So, how we are going to notice any changes? So just very, very briefly have a look at the potential ability versus the current ability. So with this in mind, so currently their highest player, which I will expect to increase, is Zach Muscat, who is a 25-year-old defender playing his football at Academica in Portugal. So, subject to change over the next few years. They are actually playing the European Championship qualifiers as well. They're not doing too greatly. Losing to Wales 2-0 and losing both home and away games against Ukraine 1-0 and 4-0. Still with Germany and Slovenia to play. We'll come back in 2022. And the World Cup is still in December. Whether that will be changed or not, I'm not too sure yet. So whether the game will change it automatically or whether it will stick with it being played in Qatar, I'm not too sure. We'll come back in 2022, 3 years' time, and I'm hoping to see a significant difference, improvement in the national team. Okay, so we have gone 3 years ahead since we last briefly checked on Malta's progress. They were 179th in the world. Let's have a look where they are now. Let's see what they've done. Okay, so they have made quite an improvement. So they are 157th in the world. So it's again, when you look at a team like Malta, you say, oh, that's nothing really. Still 157th in the world, but considering that they were 183rd to start off with 4 years ago, they've made quite a significant improvement. Actually, who's first in a minute? So Brazil are our main competitors. We are going to be first, hopefully. So, schedule. Let's actually have a look where they are. We'll have a look at 2020, as that's where I believe we last left them. 2019 actually. So they took part in the European Championship qualifiers. They only won one game, okay, and that was against Slovenia. So in a group when you've got Germany and Wales as well, it's Germany especially. It's a little bit difficult, but getting a result against Slovenia wasn't bad. So they did play a few friendlies along the way as well, but they took part in the European League as well. So, and that was Division D, Group 4. So I believe it was Division D, Group 3 last time. So playing San Marino, Azerbaijan, and Albania. Only losing to Albania, but beating San Marino twice and Azerbaijan twice as well. Which, for the standard that you could consider as that, isn't actually that bad. So we'll have a look at the players in a second to see what their progress is. So they they went through the World Cup qualifiers for 2022, which hasn't actually been played yet, and it doesn't look that great. I must admit. We'll have a look. So they finished fifth out of 6 teams. Only Andorra finished below them, with Poland qualifying for the World Cup. Malta winning 2 and losing 8. So make what you will out of that, but then again, it's eventually that those results will improve. So they also took part in a couple of friendlies along the way, but this caught my attention because they are now in the European International League Group C. They've only played 4 games so far, and the one game that they did win was against Montenegro. So it's an improvement. But again, when you think that you've got the likes of Turkey and Norway in the same group as well, that's not too bad, I guess. Let's have a look at the squad. You can see it's quite a significant improvement. So the regions are starting to come through. So the PA potential ability of Luke Ferrugia is 197, with his current ability as a 18-year-old being at 129. So he's playing for Senegal A, or I believe Senegal, sorry, Athletic FC. So I'm assuming, yeah, so they're also in the Maltese Premier League. I have added a couple of different countries as well. So the Premier League, the La Liga, and Serie A. So hopefully a few more high-profile clubs, European clubs, will come in to poach a couple of players, which isn't actually too bad, to be honest with you. So they'll be getting more experience from higher reputable clubs as well. So for he's 18 as well. He's played 3 caps already for the main national squad. He played 16 under 21. Sorry, he made 16 under 21 appearances and scored 16 goals. So that's not too bad. I mean, as I said, his potential ability 197 isn't that bad. I mean, the next one down is Kenneth Zara, and he's playing his foot. Actually, he's not playing at all. So let's see where he went. He was at Hammer and Spartans in the Maltese Premier League, which I believe is the division underneath the Maltese top league. I believe. No, actually, no, I'm wrong. It's in the top division. It's in the top league. So he's been released, which I find surprising. I do find surprising. such a young player as well with that sort of potential, and those statistics for a 19-year-old, especially from Malta, isn't that bad. I'll have a look at one more. Who Andrew Borg, who's valued at £127,000. His potential ability is 176, and his current ability is 102. 19 years of age, playing. He's contracted to AC Milan as a goalkeeper. And if I remember correctly, Donnarumma may be a step ahead of him. If he's still there. So being second to Donnarumma isn't actually that bad, especially when you have a look at the players that AC Milan have got, and then you have a look at Andrew Borg, who is a 19-year-old Maltese goalkeeper. It's a bit of a standout. So let's have a look at the fixtures that are coming up. So they've got Norway and Montenegro, and then that's it. So I'm assuming the next competition will be the European Championships after the World Cup. Interestingly, I would like to quickly have a look at the competitions for the International League. So there it is. They finished first in Group 4, so they notably got promoted up to Group 2, avoiding Group 3 as well. World Cup qualifiers, it's not really that great to look at currently, but that again subject to change over in the next few years. European Championship qualifiers as well, so that will be the next step after the World Cup. So that's your next competition. We will come back and have a look in 4 years' time, after the 2022 World Cup, and hopefully the European qualifiers will have been completed, and we will be going through to the next World Cup. I'm hoping that Malta will have qualified. Now, it's a very, very long shout to say that Malta will, at this present stage, will have qualified for the 2026 World Cup, wherever that may be. I have no idea. We'll come back on the 9th of July 2026. Okay, so we've come to the final section of this part of the video. We left Malta the last time we had a look at where they were in 157th in the world, and we was hoping that they may have reached a World Cup finals, potentially European qualifiers, European Championships even, or even have actually been promoted from their group in the European League. So let's have a look. Let's see where they are now. Okay, so they have risen up in the world ranking quite considerably, by, well, quite a substantial amount, to be honest with you. So they're now sitting in 123rd, which is, it's rather good, I must admit. Look at the players, look at where they are. So Anthony Grech playing at Man United, Luke Ferrugia at Real Madrid, Kenneth Zara playing for Juventus, and Dean Kutajar playing at FC Porto. We'll have a quick look at those in a minute. I do want to have a look at the schedule to see where they are. Let's see how they got on, shall I say. So we left them in 2022 as it was a World Cup year. They went into the European League in Division C, Group 2. They didn't do that great, did they? So they won 2 games out of the 6, losing out to Norway and Turkey twice, and beating Montenegro twice as well. So that's yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad considering where they were when they first started. Playing 2 friendlies against Liechtenstein and Faroe Islands, and then they went into the European Championship qualifiers, Group E. So only beating Estonia, and they were playing against Bosnia Herzegovina, Czech Republic, and Denmark, losing to all those three teams countries twice. So, is it a step in the right direction? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But they have. It looks like they have made quite a considerable improvements playing against strong opposition. When you consider Northern Ireland and Hungary as potentially stronger opposition, if you think about it, beating both Northern Ireland and Hungary respectively, 1-0 twice against Northern Ireland and Hungary, and then beating Hungary 3-2 in Northern Ireland 3-1. So, is that signs of the regen starting to take over? Well, actually, maybe not. Losing to Turkey and England in the World Cup qualifiers, Group 10, to Turkey and England 4-0. And also playing Serbia on the way as well, so losing to Serbia as well, and drawing against them at home 1-1. Playing a few friendlies along the way. So 2026 is the current year where they are playing in the European League Division B Group 2. Again, Turkey is a bit of a bogey team to them, but it looks a bit. They'll be playing Switzerland and Turkey, and as and when we do go forward with this video, we'll come back and have a look at the results from there. I may go 4 years into the future, just towards the next World Cup. I found out as well the 2026 World Cup was being played in the USA and Mexico. So it was a joint World Cup. So we'll have a look at the just out of curiosity to see who won it as well. Let's have a look at the players. We did say we was going to have a look, and we'll put it in order. So there we go. So Luke Ferrugia at the minute is a bit of a standout player for Malta. Potential ability rating gets 197, so only 3 off 200. I haven't actually seen a player yet in in many videos where something like this has been done actually rating at 200. His current ability as well. It's a bit of a standout between him and Kenneth Zara. So 155 current ability, Kenneth Zara, 159 current ability, and 186 potential. So yeah, I mean they are getting their football elsewhere. So they are playing for Luke Ferrugia's Real Madrid, and I believe he was playing for Huesca in Spain as well. So he left. I'm still surprised that he left on a free. You know, a player with such potential. Sanglia Athletic must be kicking themselves, metaphorically. So, Ken Zara is also playing at Juventus. He joined them for. Alright, so he was he's playing for Hammer and Spartans. He then moved to Juventus. He went to Valencia on loan. He only played one game. And he went back to Juventus, and he's slowly improving, so to speak. And Dean Kutajar as well, playing his football for FC Porto. That was after he was playing for Floriana in Malta. So he went to FC Porto on a free. He went to Fiorentina on loan, playing 34 games and making 13 clean sheets. That's quite that's not bad. It's not bad. So other regions doing their bit slowly. They are slowly making an impact. So we'll come back in part 2 if you want it to be a part 2. We'll go ahead another 8 years, considering that when we started this video, not long ago. They were in 183rd, where Mongolia are at the minute. They went up to 157th 4 years later, where Chad are now, and they're currently sitting in 123rd. So, I'm going to say it's going to take quite a while to get them to first place. That's where we want them to be. That is the aim. That is the aim of the game. That is the goal. That is road to number one in the world. We will get there. I'm very, very confident in us getting there. On that note, if you like the video, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notifications button, because there is plenty more content to be coming forward. So we've got this video, which will be continued very, very soon. Thank you everyone for watching, and also thank you to those who have subscribed to my channel so far. I know it's only currently 18 subscribers, but it's a start. Everyone's got to start somewhere, and this is where I'm starting. So thank you everyone who's subscribed, who's hit the notifications button, and thank you for the comments. If there is anything that you guys as viewers would like to see, we did mention about checking out the World Cup. We'll have a look at that just before we go. So yeah, so the current holders: Portugal, Argentina won the 2022 World Cup, and we did start the experiments off the back of the 2018 World Cup, where we know that France beat Croatia. Should have been England. Never mind. It will be our turn one day. Thanks very much, guys, and I will see you very, very soon.